Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see negative values in normal distribution for year 13 and IB students. Let's get started. Negative values in normal distribution. When z is negative, then the normal curve is symmetrical. We know that the normal curve is symmetrical about the mean 0. If we take the negative value of z, that will be symmetrical and that same value will be equal to z also. Probability of z less than minus a. We know that this is our normal distribution curve and this is symmetrical about the mean 0. I took the negative of a, that means the value is negative, so it will go below 0. Suppose that my value lies here minus a and I am talking about less than minus a. This shows you that I am talking about this part of my answer. We know that when the value is positive, the lesser than part will be written as phi of a. The similar way, the lesser than part will be written as phi of minus a. But at the same time, because the curve is symmetrical about the mean, the value z is equal to minus a will be the same as the value of a, and the lesser than part will be the same as the greater than part. We know that the greater than part will be shown as 1 minus phi of a. Phi of minus a will be the same as 1 minus phi of a because of the symmetry of the curve. That's how we have the formula for probability of z less than minus a will be written as phi of minus a, which will be equal to 1 minus 5a. Let's see the second part here. When probability of z greater than minus a. So the value is same and now we are talking about greater than part. So my value lies here minus a and I am talking about this part. This part, because of symmetry of the curve, will be the same as z of a, and we will talk about the lesser than part. We know that the lesser than part will be shown as phi of a. So probability of z greater than minus a will be the same as probability of z less than a, and less than a will be shown as phi of a. Let's see one example here. If z is normally distributed with mean 0 and variance 1, find probability of z less than 1.377. As you can see from here, this value is more than 0. It will lie somewhere here, 1.377. I am talking about lesser than part. That means I need to find out this part of the answer. We know that the lesser than part will be given as phi of a. This will be written as phi of 1.377. I need to find out this answer from the table. We will look for 1.37 first and then we will look for the 7 value. 1.37. Let's see the table here. 1.37. 7 is somewhere here. 0.9147. Let's write on the value here. 0.9147. I will look for 7 again. So the value is here, it is 11. Let's add it here. That will be 0.0011. If you add it here, 7 plus 1 is 8. 4 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 0 is 9 and 0. 0.9158 is my answer. Let's write on the answer here, 0.9158. Let's see the second question here. Probability of z greater than 1.377. So the value is same. Now I am talking about greater than part. This is the value here. I am talking about this part. The greater than part will be written as 1 minus phi of a. Let's write down here. This will be written as 1 minus phi of 1.377. The value is same what we figured it out earlier. Let's write down here 1 minus 0.9158. If you subtract it, your answer will be equal to 0.0842. This will be your answer. Let's see the third part here. Probability of z greater than minus of 1.377. I am talking about negative value right now and greater than. Let's see the graph here. If this is the graph, the negative value will lie somewhere here, negative 1.377. I am talking about greater than part. This value will be the same as 1.1377 and the lesser than part because of the symmetry of the curve. Lesser than part, we know that will be given as phi of A. Let's write down the value here. Phi of A is 1.377. We figured it out this answer earlier. Let's write down the answer here. This will be written as 0.9158. This will be my answer. Let's see the fourth question here. Probability of z less than negative 1.377. The value is negative. It will lie somewhere here below 0. Negative 1.377. I am talking about lesser than part. That means I am talking about this part. By the symmetry of the curve, this will be the same as phi of 1.377 greater than part. Let's write down here first. This will be written as probability of z greater than 1.377. We know that the greater than part will be written as 1 minus phi of 1.377. Let's write down the value here. 1 minus 0.9158. If you subtract it, your answer will be equal to 0.0842. This will be your answer. It should be clear for you that probability of z lesser than negative 1.377, this part will be the same as this part, which will be written as probability of z greater than 1.377. Let's see some important results now. A and B are positive and A less than B. It shows that the value for A is less than B. Right now both are positive. If we plot the curve here, the values will be A here and B here because A is lesser than B. A will return first and B will be written later because this value is higher. I have to calculate probability of Z greater than A less than B. I have to find out the answer of this shaded region. This shaded region will be figured it out by subtracting the value lesser than B minus of lesser than A, then I'll get this shaded area. This lesser than part, as I told you earlier, this will be written as phi of B and the lesser than part at A will be written as phi of A. We will write down this part as probability of Z less than B minus of probability of Z less than A. Probability of Z less than B will be written as phi of B minus of probability of Z less than A will be written as phi of A. This will be your answer. Let's see the negative value inside it. If A is less than B, we know that if I multiply this full equation with a negative sign because of the inequality, minus A will be greater than minus B. The value of minus A is greater than minus B. If we see the curve here, this is my curve here. Minus A will be written here because this value is greater and minus B will be written here. This value is smaller. I have to calculate the probability of Z greater than minus B less than minus A. This shaded part will be figured it out by subtracting probability of Z less than minus A minus of probability of Z less than minus B. Then I'll get this answer. Probability of Z less than minus A will be written as phi of minus A minus of probability of Z less than minus B will be written as phi of minus B. The negative of A value will be the same as 1 minus phi of A minus of 1 minus phi of B. If you open the bracket here, this will be written as 1 minus phi of A minus of 1 plus phi of B. 1 got cancelled from here and your answer will be phi of B minus of phi of A. That will be your formula. Let's see some examples here. If Z is normally distributed with mean 0 and variance 1, find the probability that Z is greater than 0.5 less than 2. Both values are positive. This will be greater than 0 value. So 2 is here, 0.5 is here. If I have to calculate the answer in between the shaded area, this will be written as Z less than 2 minus of Z less than 0.5 if I subtract it. Let's write down the answer here. Probability of Z less than 2 minus of probability of Z less than 0.5. We know that the less than answer will be written as phi of 2 minus of phi of 0.5. I have to calculate the answer for phi of 2. Let's see the table here. Phi of 2 is 0 value. This will be 0.9772. Let's write on the answer here. 0.9772 minus of 0.5 value. 0.5 value is here. 0.6915. Let's write on the answer here. 0.6915. If you subtract it, your answer will be equal to 0.2857. This will be your answer. Let's see the next question here. Probability of z greater than negative 1.4 less than negative 0.6. Negative 0.6 is bigger than negative 1.4. All the values are negative here. My value will lie here, negative 0.6 here, negative 1.4 here. I need to calculate the answer in between them. This will be written as probability of z less than negative 0.6 minus probability of z less than negative 1.4. Let's write on the answer here. This will be written as probability of z less than negative 0.6 minus of probability of z less than negative 1.4. Lesser than values will be written as phi of negative 0.6 minus of phi of negative 1.4. Negative of phi value will be written as 1 minus phi of 0.6 minus of bracket 1 minus phi of 1.4. If I open the bracket here, this will be written as 1 minus phi of 0.6 minus of 1 plus phi of 1.4. 1 got cancelled from here. This will be written as phi of 1.4 minus of phi of 0.6. I have to calculate the value of 1.4 from the table. Let's see the value here. 1.40 is this one. 0.9192. Let's write on the answer here. This will be equal to 0.9192 minus of phi 0.6. Let's find out the answer from the table. 0.6. 0.6 is here. The value is this one. 0.7257. Let's write down here. 0.7257. If you subtract it, your answer will be equal to 0.1935. This will be your answer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment down below. Bye-bye everyone.